Project Vidyadhan sponsored the school fees for 4 underprivileged girl students at Rani Lady Mayamal School, Adyar. The sponsorship amount was rupees 51,000, and this amount will be used to pay for their 12th standard fees for 1 full year. And we also have Project Annapathiram served about 4,200 meals in the first fortnight of October. So thanks to all the donors who have contributed. Coming to vocational service, on 8th of October, we had the inauguration of paramedical English and computer courses at our community college at Alwapet. Our own Rotarian, Dr. Aravindan Selvaraj, was the chief guest. A total of 60 students have registered so far, and it is bound to increase more. So coming October 26th, we will have the inauguration of our Tally training program at our Vocation Excellence Center in Thuraipakam. The last announcement from youth. Science Film Festival in association with Goethe Institute took off with a great start. The workshop for the students, also partly hosted by RCME, are getting some fabulous responses. We also have one fantastic project coming up. Nippon Paint, in association with Rotary Club of Madras East, has launched an art competition for school children from across India. The registration costs would be used for the service project proposed by RCME E-Shala, and Kausalya Neelagandan is the chairperson. That's all for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sahith. It's been a very busy last 1 week at RCME, and it is going to be another busy week in the next 7 days. Thank you so much for the announcement. May I now request Rotarian Prabhuraman to come and introduce our chief guest for the evening.
Thank you, President. Good evening, friends. It's my privilege to introduce one of the well-known and widely spoken about musician, Srimati S. Mahathi. One of the most celebrated Carnatic musicians and playback singers of today's generation, Srimati S. Mahathi hails from a family of musicians. Her father, Sri Thiruvayaru P. Shekhar, is one of the senior most disciples of Dr. M. Balamurali Krishna, and her mother, Srimati Vasanti Shekhar, is a flutist, disciple of flute Sri Mali and Srimati N. K.C. Mahathi's great-grandfather is Sangeeta Kalanidhi. Paramneri Swaminatha Iyer is a renowned violinist. He comes in the 8th generation of the Saint Tyagaraja's Sishya Parampara. Mahathi is a child prodigy. You know what? She started identifying classical ragas from her tender age of 1.5 years. Mahathi has had a live demonstration of her prodigious talent with mandolin maestro U. Srinivas and veteran violinist A. Kanyakumari Madam at her age of 3 in front of a house full of audience at Mylapore Fine Arts Club in 1988. An A-grade artist of All India Radio and Doordarshan, Mahathi is a recipient of several prestigious awards like Isai Peroli, Vanikala Nipuna, Yuvakala Bharati, Isai Sudarvoli, Innisai Edavarsa, and many, many more of those. Mahathi was introduced to film singing by none other than the musical Einstein, Maestro Ilayaraja, when she recorded her first song for him at her age of 16. She has sung more than 700 film songs to her credit in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Punjabi, and Kannada, and she is a recipient of the Tamil Nadu Government State Award for the Best Female Playback Singer for the year consecutively in 2008 and 2009. She is a recipient of the Best Raga Alapanai and Best Pallavi prizes for the Music Academy, Chennai. She has been performing in various prestigious venues all over the world. She has performed across the globe and traveled extensively for classical music and light music concerts. Mahathi is the only musician of the younger generation who effortlessly handles Carnatic music and film music at ease and keeps it mutually exclusive. Mahathi and her parents have established Mahathi Academy of Music and Dance in the year 2003 at Chennai, where they train more than 500 students in various faculties. Her new found initiative is Mahathi's online global music academy for online training in music for students living in India and abroad. So ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Mahathi to today's evening. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Sudhin Prabhulaman, for this fabulous introduction. May I now request the chief guest to address our members.
Good evening, namaskaram to all of you. My sincere thanks to Rotary Club of Madras East, Sri Magesh Pattabhiraman, who's not present here, Sri Sahit and others who have coordinated, and Madam Jayashree, who was in touch with me to coordinate the whole event. Respected President, Secretary, the director and chairperson and other esteemed members of the club. I'm delighted to be here today. Apologize for the slight delay because I got stuck in traffic as usual. It's been, actually I feel so delighted to see an audience in front of me. Sitting live and, I can hear the claps just with a microsecond delay because for the past 2 years, it's been performing to cameras where we get a delayed response probably after a month or so when it comes on YouTube or on Facebook. So it's been a very a challenging phase when it comes to artists, more so because entertainment is the last thing on your mind when there's a question of health. So there had been a lot of challenges during this phase, and I'm happy for two reasons today. One, that I'm able to see you all live here, sitting in front of me. Reason number two, I'm out in a public function with my husband after about 2 years. So that is Dr. Sri Kumar, and an oral maxillofacial surgeon, my husband. So it is either him or me making our presence on behalf of our family anywhere. So usually during my concerts, my son is being taken care at home by him or my in-laws, so he doesn't get to accompany me during my programs. So I have a lot of friends at the Rotary Club. Sahit is a very good friend of mine from the badminton club that we used to play. Sahit is no longer seen there. And we have other friends who are members of Rotary clubs across Chennai. So I was told that the content of my speech or whatever it is today is regarding how I managed the lows of Corona, the phase that we have just passed, if I may say that. I wish to say that we've passed that phase of the pandemic. So, like I said earlier, this entertainment is something that we all feel. It is something to relax. So during the pandemic, it was a very difficult phase in terms of to start with, in terms of first few months, we did not know where it was. It was just total washout, total mind block, and there was nothing on the mind except, the household chores, eating, sleeping, and watching Netflix and news. So these were the four things that was on our mind. Like any of us did at home, we did our household chores, we did our cooking, eating, and everything, our day-to-day activities. But then, what I was as a professional, as a singer, it was not even there on my mind for the first few months. So before coming to that, how I managed, I also went through depression during the pandemic phase. But then before that, I would like to share how my career or how my life used to be. So like Sir mentioned, I grew up in Kerala, although I hail from Tanjavur. My appa is from Tiruviyar. I grew up in Kerala because my father was working with a private concern. So I'm the only daughter to my parents. So my father, since he was transferred from place to place every 5 years, I learned under various gurus, my first gurus being my parents, and later I learned from Mangat Nadeshan sir in Trichur. Like every child, I also wanted to become an engineering graduate. So I took up science group in my 11th and 12th. And by then, fortunately, I had the good fortune of meeting Sri Ilayaraja sir during my 11th standard. Like he mentioned, I had this live demonstration, and I was steeped into Carnatic music because I come from a very staunch Carnatic music traditional background. So getting into playback singing or trying any other genre was never on my mind. So my first recording experience happened in 8th standard when one of our school teachers took me to a studios to test the voice, and thankfully the producer liked the voice.